September the 8th to the 15th, 2024, the 53rd International Eucharistic Congress will be held in Quito, Ecuador. It's an event that will also mark the 150th anniversary of Ecuador's consecration to the Sacred Heart of Jesus. To find out the behind the scenes of an International Eucharistic Congress, we spoke with the President of the Communications Commission of Quito 2024, Father Livingston Olivares.
Today we have the pleasure of being here with Father Livingston Olivares. He is the President of the Communications Commission for the 2024 International Eucharistic Congress, which will be held in Ecuador, and today he's visiting EWTN Rome's offices. So how are you, Father? What can you tell us about this huge event?
Gracias por la bienvenida, Ari.
Thanks for the welcome, Ari. I'm happy to promote this international event that's truly a blessing for Latin America.
Well, we're very happy to have you here, also because you're going to share details about how this event is being prepared with us.
Well, since Pope Francis named Ecuador as the site of the 53rd International Eucharistic Congress, all of the commissions are working for us, as the representatives of the Pontifical Committee here in Rome that started the Congress have told us, so we're working. Now, there's less time remaining before the event, but we're working with the same intensity through the different commissions like the theological, liturgical, communications, which is the transversal axis for everything. And we've also got the financial and others that are joining little by little as this great event arrives.
Con el paso del tiempo mientras llega este gran evento.
So the Communications Commission is important because communication is evangelization, right?
Claro que sí, de hecho.
Of course. In fact, I'll take advantage of the opportunity. Thanks for this space, also that helps us to promote this international event, which, as I was saying, is a blessing for Latin America, in the midst of a situation that's a bit complicated, but where we want to live out the main objective of the Congress by way of the Eucharist, which is fecundity. So Jesus Christ is made present, and he remains with us and effectively communicates, which is this transversal axis to carry out all of what we're doing, and then also what will also remain so that it may bear the necessary fruit of the Eucharist.
Fruto necesario de la Eucaristía.
Effectively, Father, you mentioned that there are difficult processes in Latin America. Right now, there are nations where, for example, there are privations. The Blessed Sacrament cannot be exposed in the streets. How have you seen this reality in these countries?
Bueno, solidarizarnos especialmente con nuestro hermano país.
Well, it's to be in solidarity also with our brother country, Nicaragua, in a very complicated situation. The Ecuadorian Episcopal Conference has also made itself heard through the many writings, not only for Central America, but Latin America also, that's experiencing human mobility through migration, the consequence of bad governance. But the Church is present there to accompany these people that walk, this nation that feels accompanied also for Jesus Christ in the Eucharist, but most of all, that lives fraternity among brothers. It's there that we must be present, praying, living in solidarity through Caritas, of the different campaigns that can be carried out, but most of all, making the resurrected Christ present, much more in this time of Easter that we're living.
Mucho más en este tiempo de Pascua que lo estamos viviendo.
Precisely today, there is social unrest in many countries, and the Eucharist is there at the center. The people that are following us, that accompany us from those countries, are seeing you, Father. Would you send them a message that they might come close to the Blessed Sacrament in these moments of great desolation, of great social problems?
Muchas veces creemos que en medio de los problemas que tenemos,
often we think that in the midst of the problems that we have, God is not with us, or sometimes we question ourselves, no? It's to say we go before the Blessed Sacrament and we say, Lord, do you like to see me like this? Nevertheless, just as when the disciples of Emmaus felt a bit discouraged, Jesus appeared to encourage them, to accompany them, to help them to understand as well, and sometimes to shake them up a bit. It's necessary to understand the importance of the Eucharist, because it's the Lord who waits for us. He tells us in His Word, "Come to me, all who labor and are burdened, and I will give you rest." It's been a time of fatigue for all of the social, political, and economic unrest, the natural disasters. But there's Jesus, the Eucharist, that remains. Where there is a priest, the Eucharist is there. So I'd like to invite all of our brothers and sisters who follow us by way of the communications media, of this prestigious channel as well, that they might come close to the Eucharist, where we can encounter God in prayer. But most of all, that in the midst of this loneliness, that exodus that we might be living internally, that we might feel the accompaniment of Jesus also, that He remains with us, that He invites us to live out fraternity, but most of all, that He reminds us that we are children of God, because it is God the Father that sent His Son into the world to save it, not to condemn it, and that we, through our faith, are already saved.
y que nosotros, por medio de nuestra fe, somos ya salvos.